Okay. How many of you have actually heard of this term called Agile? Let me write down here. What is this Agile? Essentially. What is Scrum? We will come to that later. Any answers up for grabs? We say a lion is agile, a deer is agile. What is so agile about software?
Step by step planning.
It's just a lightweight.
Lightweight, okay.
Adaptable method of
Adaptable method, okay. I'm just putting down whatever we have here. We'll rephrase it after we have got sufficient answers.
Seamless process.
Process oriented, okay. Some more. Come on, man. Open up.
Silence.
You can't be silent. Okay. Can I say it is quick to respond? Essentially, when I am talking about agile, the English definition in itself says something that is quick to respond. So, some method or mechanism which is actually quick to sense and quick to respond is actually agile. Any rejections on this or any debates on this? No. So far so good. Good. So I will write this as quick to sense and respond. Now, you have heard one more bad term called Scrum. What is this Scrum all about? Any answers once again? I mark this with Agile.
It's I would say, I'm not very sure, it could be a referee from rugby.
Okay. No, I am going to put down whatever you say. I do not know anything, right?
One person like act as a scrum master and he will lead the complete development, business requirement, testing,
Okay.
complete deliverables,
Okay.
everything. And one person will be a point of contact for the whole stuff.
Okay. You are talking about the execution. I am talking about what is Scrum.
The decisions about yesterday done, today planning and tomorrow.
They are all the events.
Yeah.
I want to know what is Scrum. Define Scrum in just one line.
Project management framework as far as IT is concerned.
We'll write down. Never mind. Okay. So we will do justice to both Agile and Scrum. We have got 3 replies here. We have got 3 replies here. Now, shall we proceed on this? Okay. What I would say is there is an umbrella. Okay. Not a very good umbrella rather, but something that can show what an umbrella is all about. I would say this umbrella is called as Agile. Okay. What I will define Agile as, it is a philosophy, a methodology, a means to completely adapt, change and deliver software requirements per the need of the customer. Okay. In other words, when I am talking about Agile, it is something that is traditionally different or diametrically different from what we have been seeing as a software model all this while. If you are looking at a classic software model, we talk about requirements, we talk about scope, we talk about timelines, then we talk about Gantt charts, then we talk about schedules, and then we talk about something very bad, feedback from customer. The customer always says on a scale of 7 on 10, he says your work is bad. So if you are following all this process, why is it that the end result is always a bad one? On a scale of 7 to 10, we always say that the end result is always bad. Why? This is something that is put for thought. When we have followed all the processes systemically, and when we have methodically trying to see what is it that customer wants, and then when we are giving the feedback, the end result is bad. The reason is simple. Customer has a requirement in mind. And Does this requirement stop at one statement?
No.
Why? Because the requirements are dynamic. Today's requirements are not tomorrow's requirements. And tomorrow's requirements are not requirements the day after. So, when the requirements are so dynamic, do you think a static method of designing an output will work?
No.
Definitely not work. That is why this is always bad. Now, Agile came up with a philosophy and told, you don't need to wait for 8 months to get a heart attack. We will give you a heart attack at every frequent iteration. Okay? So, that small time with which you design a feature, a working feature, and say that, hey, this is the feature that I have designed. Are you fine with this? Customer says, no, this is not what I want. So, what is it? At the end of 8 months, this fellow gave you a bad name. Now, at the end of a 2-week sprint to a 4-week sprint, he says, no, this is not what I wanted. I actually gave you this having some other thought in mind. I need to alter the course of the requirement. Please change this. We will work on this for the next 2 more weeks. Now, do you think Agile will work for every methodology? I return this. Do you think Agile will work for every methodology?
Yes. Yes.
Any answers?
Depends on the requirement.
Okay. Agile for all. We'll put this as that title. Depends on requirement. Any more answers? Do you think Agile can be used for every software development methodology?
My answer is no.
Okay. Why?
If the requirement is static, if it's fixed,
Hmm.
it's not technology.
Exactly. That's the answer. If I know the start point and if I know the end point of what I am going to deliver, might as well be happy with that classic waterfall model. I know where I am starting, I know where I am heading. Finished. Period. This is what that will work. So this will work if your requirements are fixed. No deviations. So if I know where I am heading at and if I know the end component of the deliverable, never ever use Agile and Scrum. No to Agile here. Now, supposing a customer says, I do not know where I am heading. I know this is the problem that I have, but I do not know how I am going to work. Will waterfall work for that? Will it work? Why?
Because we don't know the end requirement.
Exactly. See, there are specific areas where waterfall will work and there are specific areas where Agile and Scrum will work. Waterfall will not work if I do not know the end component of the deliverable. And Scrum and Agile will not work if I know the end component of the deliverable. In other words, there is no one shirt size that fits every human being. It has to be tailored for the occasion. And now let me define Agile as a philosophy.
So practically speaking, the other way around. So what happens if what all they give a clear-cut requirements, we go for design development and then we just go for a UAT. At that point of time, as soon as they seeing the GUI or the design aspect, they will tend to change the requirements.
I'm coming to that. I'll address that down the line.
Right,
We have just addressed a primer to that. I'm going to come to your question in some more
So
time.
can you give example of where A and B are very clearly defined?
Exactly. See, typical banking software solutions which you designed earlier are all very clear requirements. I do not want any deviations from that. Any insurance service provider will say, I am not going to take R&D on my work. This is a screen that has to come up when I log in. This is a screen that the customer should see when he logs in. There are no dynamic requirements there. But if I am building a system which is going to handle 10,000 inventory items today, and if it is going to house 1 lakh inventory items, I do not know the means of developing it today. I will try to design something and I will see if it is able to hold 10,001 items, one more than the maximum threshold. If it is capable of handling, yeah, tell
Sorry
me.
for interrupting. Even in banking, there is a frequent change.
Okay,
When you go for a regulatory,
okay,
it always change.
it changes.
Continuous change. So there is a dynamic change there also.
Okay.
You cannot
How
be fixed.
dynamic and how frequent is it? How dynamic?
There is a
and-
difference. It is not
I'm coming.
fixed.
I
It is
have not
fixed.
completed this. I have not completed it. I am going to address the various frameworks under Agile, and under that I will be addressing all these questions. So can you please be patient until then? Okay. If the requirements are so dynamic that it cannot be done well within one go, then I will address some other framework under Agile, and I will come back to this chart. These are all some frameworks. This is called as Scrum. Another framework is called as Kanban. Correct me if I'm
Japanese.
Kanban. Another is called as XP or Extreme Programming.
Yeah.
This is called as DSDM. This is called as LESS. Another called as SAFE. No, there are many people minting money out of these frameworks. You don't need to worry so much about that.
TDD is also
I'm coming. No, that is not under this. I'm coming to that. There's a separate set called as an engineering practice. We will address that. That's not in today's discussion scope, but anyway, we will discuss it offline. Okay. See, now, Agile is a philosophy which takes care of three components: people, values, collaboration. Fine? Now, under Agile, you have these various frameworks. Scrum is one framework. It's a process framework which addresses the problems the way Agile does. Now, the big difference between a classic waterfall model and a Scrum methodology is very simple. I have one more question. What is the general sprint timeline which you people are working with?
4 weeks.
4 weeks. Any other answers?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay. Other answers?
1 day also become.
1 day sprint.
We will have a
Customizable Agile Scrum.
I'm coming to that. I expected this answer. Okay.
yesterday night we have developed it, morning we have delivered.
Okay, I'm coming to that. Why do you think this magic number of 4 weeks or 2 weeks is coming to picture? Why can't it be 6 weeks or 8 weeks? Come on, man, the ladies are so silent. You have to come up. I'm not talking about rocket science or something like that. By the way, Scrum is applicable for anything and everything down the earth. You know, manufacturing, language learning, translation, you name anything, electronic manufacturing, Scrum is applicable because it talks about a feature called inspect and adapt. Now this is called as a known process. Something that I do not know the end result is called as an empirical process, where we inspect and adapt per the changing requirements of our customers. Now, why is this magic number 4 weeks coming into picture? The reason is this. If a product owner does not know where he or she is heading at, this 4 weeks is good enough for him to understand if this is what I really want to come as an end feature, which I am going to see. Now, any self-driving team will look at this 4 weeks as a well-defined time box, and they will work very clearly oriented towards this product owner's goal. This 4 weeks will align all their energies and interests in one direction. It won't be dispersed or scattered in any direction whatsoever. Beyond 4 weeks, it is human psychology to think that, yes, we have done a marvelous job, let's start rotting. That doesn't work in Scrum. So 4 weeks is good enough for a Scrum team to know where we have delivered, are we heading or are we coursing in the right direction, and 4 weeks is good enough for the product owner to understand if the right results are seen. Now, let me actually get into some more details of Scrum. Scrum essentially talks about 3 roles. One of them is the, come on,
Scrum Master.
Scrum Master,
Product owner.
and
Scrum team.
Scrum team. Very good. Why are not other roles like tester, developer, project manager?
That is against the philosophy of Scrum.
Very good. Actually speaking, the concept of Scrum is you believe in people and people believe in you. You don't believe in people and people never believe in you. It actually works against the aspects of traditional project management. That is where a role delineation has come into picture. Okay, PMI was put into risk when Scrum came into picture for all those people who were working for project management. This is something which I want to give you off the record, don't quote my name. Now, this Scrum Master is a person who is going to liaison between the product owner and the Scrum team. Do you think a Scrum Master will do a fantastic job working for 10 Scrum teams? Come on, man, you can't be so silent at 11 o'clock.
Based on the person capable.
Capability model, yes. There is something called as a mature team and something that is called as an upcoming team and a team which is going to attain maturity. There are 3 levels. In this process, teams mature as they get more and more experience and as they understand the concepts of Scrum and Agile, so that they work very closely towards a product owner's or your customer's requirements, and customer also exercises more faith in your delivery. Now, a Scrum Master essentially is having a role to coach, tutor, and very closely work with the team to ensure that the concepts of Scrum and Agile are imbibed and acquired by the team. In other roles, he has to facilitate, he has to mentor, and the other important thing which he has to do is he has to diffuse conflicts. He has to unplug the fuse when there is a high voice escalation going around. Okay, something that's really difficult. Now, what do you think is the role of a Scrum team? Any answers?
They form the development.
Yeah, a development team. Very good.
QA.
Okay. Okay. QA, then testing. QA come testing. Let us say I put business analyst also in this. For information, there is no role called as a business analyst in Scrum.
That's what I told you, it's against philosophy of Scrum.
Exactly. But you cannot do away with a business analyst because you need a person to take a meeting from the customer. Right? So he is there for that role. Okay. Now, additional roles like testers or readers or something is not allowed like that, because a Scrum team essentially comprises members from the development team, the QA team, and the verification. What is the maximum permissible number of any Scrum team? Any ideas?
6 to 8.
6 to 8, okay.
Beyond that, Scrum of Scrum.
Can I put as 9?
That could be accommodated within a single Scrum team. So if it is go beyond a 10, we would obviously need to have Scrum of Scrum.
Okay. As per the rule of Scrum, later than 2001, the maximum allowable size was 9 and the minimum allowable size was 3. Why do you think they have fixed these numbers 3 and 9?
Including dev, QA, all the teams.
Exactly. The maximum Scrum team is 3. The minimum Scrum team is 3 and the maximum is 9. The idea of Scrum is to ensure that people, values, collaboration, co-location work very closely knit together, and during the process of working really close, they come up with intuitive ideas and they share and they grow along with the team. Essentially, it's all about role fostering, working together so that together they up, together they down. I am working up, I grow up. I don't work, I always stay there, or I either grow down. Now, beyond 9, the question of team dynamics becomes a problem. So we have another concept called as less and safe. Don't worry, this is large scale Scrum. People make money by mentioning these terms. And safe, scaled agile framework. It is something called as a Scrum of Scrum. But personally speaking, with my experience in the past, Scrum works really well when you have got 9 teams in the maximum. Beyond that, it is chaos. How they collaborate together and how they work is a real challenge. It is still under discussion. They are still trying to work, and it is being matured over time. But that's something which we like to define as an emergent process. Scrum is essentially about emergent architecture because today's requirements are not tomorrow's requirements. And if the customer says, hey, I done this, but I need some more changes in that, how is he going to accommodate that? Now let's come to this aspect of Scrum. Have you heard of the term called product backlog? What is this product backlog?
What was not achieved in a particular sprint.
Sorry? Come again.
What was not achieved in a particular sprint that is carried forward to the next sprint.
It constitutes
Okay.
all the requirements.
It's nothing but all your prioritized requirements. Say for instance, your user stories.
Okay, what is this user story? I don't
That's
know.
the high level requirements
Okay, if
which
you
has
know,
been broken down.
if you know, you should hold on because
I just have one question.
Yeah, please tell me.
So, what is the reason behind that we have a Scrum of Scrum? Does it, the team is scattered across a geographical location?
I'm coming to that. Actually speaking, this is a primer to Scrum. We are actually deviating when we are going to Scrum of Scrum and less. Those things I will be covering in the next session. This is essentially to give the basic or to set a foundation stone for Scrum. This is something which we will discuss offline with you. Okay? This product backlog, some more answers. Something that is not done in that sprint and which is carried over to the next sprint. Asha gave up. You told us a ordered list of features. Any more?
Values of requirements.
Okay. Hema,
What she said requirement?
you come up with something, man. Don't say what Vaishnavi told.
Meenakshi.
Meenakshi, okay. Sorry. Sorry, I didn't have time to acquaint myself personally with you. Okay. Can I now say that a customer has a wish list and he feels, I want so many things to be attained well within this delivery of the sprint. That list of features or this requirements forms a part of the product backlog. Okay. Now, this product, anything in Scrum is defined from the customer's perspective, not from the Scrum team's perspective. When I say, as an user, I would like to log into the portal to see my bank balance. Essentially, what are we talking about? You are talking about a user, you are talking about a functionality, you are talking about a benefit. Anything in Scrum is written from the requirements of the customer's perspective. Such an ordered list of customers' requirements forms something called as a user story. Now, what is this use case? What is this use case? Any answers?
High level business listing function.
Okay. Any other answers? Ramesh? A use case is typically a document which talks about customers' interaction with the system to produce the action or result. Now, do you think a given use case will comprise multiple user stories?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Any questions? So, any given use case at any point of time, typically developers look into a use case document to understand where the systems interact, what are all the other dependencies, and where is the actual interface falling in picture. This use case will comprise multiple user stories, and a product backlog is nothing but a compilation of all the user stories which the customer has given ever since the sprint began. Now, who are all the other members? You have talked about Scrum Master, you have talked about Product Owner, you have talked about Scrum Team. Do you think there are other people after this?
Teams.
Any answers?
The user.
UAT.
User, okay, users. I'm looking for one word. Users, end user testers, sign off architects, HR guys, legal guys. Shall I submit all of these entities into one word called as a stakeholder? Okay. Now, the rule of Scrum is very simple. Once a product backlog is found by the product owner, the Scrum team along with the Scrum Master, discusses with the product owner to find what is his immediate business value. See, the whole concept of Scrum talks about business value. If something talks about 10 million business value and something talks about 500,000 business value, which do you think the customer will give more value to?
The 10 million.
Yes. The business value and the ROI are key points which any product owner will be really keen on knowing. So, something that is of utmost business value will be taken into the first consideration, and that is done as a course of the first sprint. Now, there are 2 or 3 terminologies which you need to understand here. From the product backlog, you actually get into multiple sprints. A sprint, as per definition, is a well-defined time box ranging from 2 weeks to 4 weeks, where you inspect and adapt a delivery based on customer's requirement, and then find out if this is exactly what a customer wanted or if he did not want this. We told why there is a timeline of 2 weeks to 4 weeks, right? And there is always a debate going on saying that I am going to give a demo to the customer. I am going to give a demonstration to a customer. Actually, the term demonstration or demo is a misnomer. There is nothing called as a demo per the rule of Scrum Alliance. When you are actually going to give a review for the customer, it is essentially for the customer to find out if things have been coursing well, if things have not been coursing well, what is it that you need to put in place so that the corrective action is taken care of. Are you with me? Now, actually speaking, there is nothing called as a demo or a demonstration in terms of Scrum. It is actually a review. Post the review, what is it that you people will be doing internally?
Feedback.
A feedback. That is actually called as a retrospect. In this retrospect, there are key aspects which are defined. What went well, what didn't go well, what is it that you are going to do to ensure that things went right or going to go further, what are the things definitely that you are going to stop doing. These are 4 key aspects. Over and above that, we have some more things which will be defined in retrospects. I will discuss that later. There are other means of discussing certain other issues in retrospects. Now, from this sprint, you say that I am working on this for the 2 weeks and I am going to come up with a potentially shippable product or a minimum viable product or a minimum marketable feature. Supposing a customer comes and says, 2 weeks, hey man, I am going to give one more feature. Can you please put it in the sprint and deliver? Will it be done or not? This is my question.
I don't think so.
Why?
Because the sprint is the, how can I say, it is the fundamental unit of development. So
Okay.
when we change the fundamental unit as such in the middle of development, it upsets the whole process, I feel.
Okay.
But
Supposing the
based
sorry, I interrupted.
Based on the priority, we can take it out. If it's less priority, we can move it out.
Okay, that's more interesting. Okay, supposing the customer says, hey man, I've been giving business worth 10 million. Now I have business worth 45 million. Will you do it or not?
You close the existing sprint and start a new sprint.
Exactly. It depends on the ROI. Any sprint for that matter is completely dependent on the ROI given by the product owner, and only the product owner is at liberty to cancel a sprint. No other person, including the CEO or VP or some chairman, no entries allowed. Only the product owner is given liberty and access to cancel a sprint because he knows the business priority of his end output. So we have actually covered something called as a sprint. Now, what is this release? What is this release? Any answers?
Delivery of the requirement that has been covered in this particular sprint.
Okay. Shall I say that a release is a time box of multiple sprints packaged together? Any debates? Any other suggestions? Actually speaking, I do not know how many of you are aware of this. Microsoft came up with the concept of using Scrum for implementation of 2007. They partially implemented Scrum for Office 2010. Scrum was fully implemented for Office 2013 and 16 in Microsoft. Windows 7 and 10 was completely designed using Scrum. Just for your reference. I have a small demonstration where Microsoft uses Scrum in their daily work. Okay? So a release is essentially a combination of multiple sprints which are short defined milestones and which contains the minimum strips of value or minimum marketable features for the customer to use the product. Trust me, when he gets a small strip of value or that minimum marketable feature, it is an independent component. It works. For this, you need to have a user story which has some features. They are called as, you don't mind me flipping the page? Let us go. I'll say invest. Independent. And user story needs to be independent. If a user story has a dependent value, it creates problem. In other words, I cannot deliver a small value if it is dependent. It has to go as a combination of two user stories. So essentially, for me to deliver a value, it has to be independent, it has to be negotiable, which is why we spoke of what we told, something that is of more business value will be provided in this sprint and something that is of lesser business value will go to the subsequent sprint. Valuable business feature, it talks about ROI, estimated. By the way, who does the estimation? You all do the estimation. The development team does the estimation. The Scrum team does the estimation. And who is actually part and parcel of the estimation process? The Scrum team does this. These people are informed of this. And the Scrum Master essentially facilitates the whole process. You cannot push the estimates just because I want a value within 5 weeks. If it is going to take 4 weeks, if it is going to take 6 weeks. The Scrum team knows the best. Small. If a user story is small, I can constantly deliver value. If it is large, I cannot do that. And test it. Emma has a good job here. Now, one more thing is deep. Any ideas what this deep is all about? Any ideas? Detailed enough. What is this E? This talks of what we are talking about Scrum all this while. Emergent. Something that is changing over time and something that comes up today or within the next 1 hour will come here. And the other thing, prioritized. So, for a user story delivery to be successful, these are all some terminologies which we may want to remember so that the end delivery at the course of the sprint is in alignment with what our customer wanted. Any questions on this? So far, so until we have covered?
The user story should be actionable, right? So if at all we just writing the user story at granular level, each user story should be testable and actionable. Yes, you mentioned testable. So the actionable component has not been captured here. Right?
It will come there. If it is tested and if it is small, it will definitely be actionable.
How?
It will be. That's the rule of the game. If it is small and if it is tested, if it is bug free, if it is defect free, it has captured all the requirements of the customer during that sprint. If the customer is completely happy with whatever you have delivered. By the way, I forgot to mention 2 terms. What is this definition of ready? What is this definition of done? What is this definition of ready? Any ideas? I'm sure you people will be encountering such terms on a daily basis if you are working with Scrum. How many of you are actually working with Scrum here? Or how many of you are actually into Scrum right now? 1, 2, 3.
50% Scrum, 50% waterfall.
Do you know what is that model called? Do you know what that model is called? No. It's called as a hybrid model. We are working on hybrid models where Scrum is actually taking over. Down the line, the count of Scrum will start increasing. The count of waterfall will start decreasing. You will see that down the line. Okay? What is this definition of ready?
It's ready for review.
Come again?
Before review, it's development is done. It's ready for review.
I'm sorry, I didn't get your name.
Meenakshi.
Meenakshi. Any ideas?
Yeah, maybe after defining the requirement and getting all the clarity, it is ready for design or it is ready for development or it can be ready for testing.
Very good. What is Hema saying?
Ready to start the development.
Okay.
She said any steps like ready to, when you start a step and you wind it up, it's always the start of any step.
Okay.
It is the state in which we enter development or a sprint.
All the 4 answers are more or less in alignment what we wanted. Actually speaking, it is not something to do with the terminal condition of a sprint. It is something to do with the beginning of a sprint. It is the acceptance criteria as signed between your product owner, your scrum master and team to ensure that this is the action item which will go in the sprint and they are ready for development. And what is this definition of done? Now comes your answer. What is this definition of done? That is the exit criteria signed by a product owner to ensure that your sprint deliverables are well in alignment with whatever was requested for. It is defect free, bug free, and it has got all the features which work independent. Whether it works in conjunction with testing is a different exercise which will take up in consequent sprints. Any other questions?
Definition of done differ from each stakeholder, right? So
But
with respect to Scrum team, so
there is only one definition of done, which is the definition of done as signed by the exit criteria between the product owner and the Scrum team.
So what would be the deliverables of Scrum team? So they need to define the sprint goal, and then they do
That is why during this 4 ceremonies, I am going to come to the next aspect of Scrum ceremonies. Okay. We have spoken about 3 roles of Scrum. Now, what are all the primary artifacts of Scrum? What is an artifact? Something that's an evidence for a recording, right? Okay. Now, when I'm talking about an artifact, shall I talk the product backlog as an artifact?
Yes.
Okay. Do your sprint backlog and your release backlog form another artifact?
Yes.
Your product increment that is shipped once your sprint is over. These are primary 3 artifacts of your Scrum. Now, prior to 2000, Scrum had the definition called as a ceremony for their activity. After 2001, they rechristened or named or renamed the ceremony as an event. What are all the primary events? Now Ramesh will say, what are all the events which we are seeing in Scrum? What's the first event which we are seeing at 10 to 10:15? Daily Scrum
Daily
meeting.
Scrum.
Okay. The other thing is your, the other thing,
Retrospection and review.
okay.
Plan.
And we have
Planning.
forgotten very important event, your sprint planning.
Planning.
What is the time box for a daily Scrum meeting? 2 minutes.
10 to 15 minutes.
Have you used 4 hours? Just. Sorry, yes.
The question கேட்டு
நம்மள வாட்ச் பண்ணிக்கிட்டு இருக்கு.
meeting. 5 to 10 minutes.
Somebody tell me what an ROI is, man. Bro.
Evidence.
What is an ROI?
Return on investment.
அதை ஃபர்ஸ்ட் நீங்க கேட்டுருக்க வேண்டியது. Sorry guys, we'll be winding it up another 5 minutes. Now, post 2001, we were talking about this daily Scrum review, retrospective sprint planning. What do you think is a time box for a retrospect?
30 minutes.
Retrospect for sprint planning? I mean, sorry, time box. Okay. Now, in addition to all that was mentioned here, Scrum Alliance very clearly prescribed one implicit event, which is your product backlog refactoring or grooming. And one more, what is it? What is the other artifact? Definition of done. So, in short, we have actually tried to cover all that was there in Scrum. Any questions on this? Over and above whatever we have covered, we will handle it in our coming session. Any questions until now? Are you in line with whatever we discussed?
No, earlier you told by using the old methodology, the feedback is bad. You mean that, how do you guarantee that all we do with the Scrum is all good, feedback will be good, fine?
I am not saying the feedback will be excellent, but the customer at least know what he wants at the end of the sprint.
But we do have enough projects to showcase, like even waterfall model are very much succeeded.
That will work when your requirements are finalized, when your requirements are clear.
So it is one of the methodology.
Scrum
Not
is
like
a framework.
methodology.
Scrum is a framework. Waterfall is a methodology.
No,
And
like
it
Agile.
works very well.
No, Agile.
Agile is a philosophy. Waterfall is another methodology. Under Agile, you have all these frameworks. Kanban, Scrum. I will be talking about Kanban in another session. We have actually crossed our time box. So I do not want to spend more time on that. And I would like to share with you, is this powered on?
Yeah, it was.
I would like to share with you a small demonstration for this power on?
It's actually on the time.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
How do you power this on? இது ஆன் பண்ண முடியுமா என்ன பண்ணணும்?
It was on actually.
Is it not connected?
Oh,
And the thing is
There are
Oh, you need to connect this as well, is it? Yeah, I think.
this recording inside company. Is it really?
No, this is for me to retrospect myself.
No, but still it's not
In this room,
allowed.
I took permission of Damodar.
But you didn't tell us you're recording this.
You didn't ask me, now you asked me, now you told me.
Nobody expects being recorded in the company.
It is for my retrospect, sir. I told this to you anyway. Now that you have asked me, thank you. How do you get this powered on?
It is on.
It is on. It's also connected.
Remote HDMI போங்க.
ನೀವು ಸ್ಯಾಮ್ಸಂಗ್ ಟಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗ ಮಾಟೇங்குது
Source.
அது வரலையே.
First வந்து AV வந்துச்சு.
வந்துச்சா?
Off right on our power.
Will it take some time?
Oh, right.
I வந்துச்சு. So if you
right.
source.
இந்த HDMI
கீழே வாங்க. கீழே வாங்க. சந்தி
இல்லையா போகலையா?
I just want to show. Or shall I turn the system around?
Yep.
Okay, this is a small demonstration of whatever we have discussed until now. I hope. Function.
double check பண்ணாலே பேசு. double click பண்ணாலே பேசு.
Okay.
Today, I want to give you the Scrum framework in 10 minutes or less. My passion is coaching Agile coaches, and I tell you, every Agile coach should be able to train the framework of their choice in 10 minutes or less. So here we go. The Scrum framework. So Scrum is the most popular Agile framework. Agile is an umbrella of methods. They're all pretty cool. The Scrum framework is great because it works for almost any kind of project. It's a great backbone. 3 roles in Scrum. This is the easiest way to think about starting to understand the Scrum framework. a Scrum Master, and the more generic term for this is Agile Coach. You'll hear those two interchangeably. And then you have team member. So the first thing to notice is that I didn't list all the different kinds of team members we need. Scrum works on shared commitment. So the team members commit to a small set of goals they're going to create together in a short period of time. And they do whatever is necessary to create those. So that may mean that a team member is going to work outside of their specific role or skill set or their title in an organization. And here's how they're going to do it. This is the Scrum framework, 4 boxes and 2 circles. Now, before we get going with Scrum, one of the things that Scrum assumes, but doesn't say a whole lot about, it's just not part of the framework, is that someone has a vision of what this team is going to accomplish together, or what this product looks like that the team needs to create. They have a vision enough that they've been able to go and get some money, and someone has given them money and they say, okay, great, go make that vision happen. Now, when we have the vision and the money, and we know we want to use Scrum, the first thing that we'll do is to create this thing called a product backlog. This is the closest thing you're going to get to the big old requirements document you may be familiar with. Now, the product backlog is just a list of stuff we know needs to get done from a business standpoint to get this vision accomplished. Now, the person who creates this product backlog is this product owner, this person up here. That product owner is from the business. That product owner knows what this product is supposed to do, how it's supposed to look, what business goals we're trying to achieve with it. So basically, they can be there to guide it to actually create the business value we want to create. Now, they do that by adding things to this product backlog as they realize they need more stuff to do this vision. But initially, we just have the stuff we know at this point. We don't have to have it all. So we have a list of stuff from a business perspective in order to get this vision done. The cool thing is that that list is prioritized, putting the highest business value or the highest business risk they